How's it going? It's Steve Linnin again, and I'm back again to give you another question and answer session. And today's topic is, how do I know if I'm getting the best value for the purchase that I'm actually executing? So the answer to that question is it depends on what your needs are. And so let's go ahead and go through that, because there's more than just the actual purchase of the property and what I'm getting it for. There's actually the living, the enjoyment of the space, how long you're going to be there. There's all kinds of factors. So let's just go ahead and go over some of the details. You have a purchase price versus value. So if you're buying a property today, the odds are that you're actually getting more square footage for the purchase price than you would have gotten 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, because the properties have collapsed in this particular market. Plus the interest rates, you have to look at the interest rates in the actual terms of those mortgages and loans, and you'll discover that actually you're getting a better value compared to other times in the last 15 years. So you have to look at that. The next thing you have to look at is you have to look at enjoyment of the living space. How long are you going to be there? What rooms are you going to be using? Are you going to be using the bonus room if you have one, or the living room or dining room, the bedrooms? And how much of that enjoyment are you going to have? Most people live in their dining room, in their family room, in their kitchen, and that's pretty much where they execute most of their activities. And then they actually go to bed and they live in their bedrooms. And in today's world, things have changed. So when you buy properties that have dining rooms and family rooms, or dining rooms, should I say, and living rooms, a lot of times the living rooms aren't even utilized. So you have to actually decide whether or not that's important to you, and adjust based on what you want to purchase from an older home versus a newer home that may have the differences in those particular type of living spaces. So you want to look at that. You also want to look at the property taxes you're paying, and whether you're paying Melrose, and if that's important to you to have the different newer homes that have the Melrose, where you have to pay those extra taxes. You also want to look at, is it a short-term investment or a long-term investment? Or even if it's a short-term investment of where you're living right now, living in it, are you going to use it down the road to be a rental property and then go buy another property and actually have an investment property that you originally purchased as, let's say, a first-time home buyer program property, where you actually purchased it for an investment, living in it in the beginning, and then renting it out down the road. So you want to look at those strategies as well. You also want to look at the tax benefits of the write-offs, the tax write-offs for having the property, and you also want to look at the local schools and parks and shopping areas, and how close and in relation to distance that you want to be, and how much a value proposition that brings to you, in part of the enjoyment of being close to those particular places where you're living. Also, the local events of what's going on in your particular community, and how important that is to you, as far as the things that are going on in your community. Also, you want to look at the rates and terms of your loan, as opposed to what it could be in the future, and how much of a benefit that is to you. For example, we're at the lowest levels of interest rates that we've seen in the 25 years I've been in the business. It's extremely low, so it's an incredible benefit for you compared to what people will be paying in the future when they're buying properties and paying 8, 9, 10% on interest rates, or even higher perhaps, as inflation hits. Also, you want to look at green technology, and you want to look at your ability to integrate green technologies in the future. If you're buying an older home, most homes that are out there don't have green technology built into them. So if you want to retrofit, you want to look at those particular issues, and look at the house that you're purchasing in relationship to how's that going to affect you. How can you lower your costs? How can you convert the things that are in your home, whether if it's an older home or a newer home, to those particular technologies. Also, integration of internet cables, of your cell phones, all those different things that are the newer technologies, LCD screens on your walls, having wireless connection throughout your house, out into your pool area, whether it has a pool or not. There's so many different concerns, and you just want to be aware of those things as you're looking at your property and when you're purchasing your property. So you have to look at the total benefit package rather than just what the purchase price is. So hopefully this is helpful to you. When you sit down with me, we'll go into depth of what those issues are and how they can help you, and look at the long-term, short-term benefits for you, and open up. There's so many other things that I could go into, but in a video format, I try to keep it narrowed down to 3 to 5 minutes. So just get a hold of me. My name's Steve Linnin. My telephone number is 909-895-4074. You can go to my parent website, what I call my portal, and that's at stevelinnin.com, and that's STEVELINNIN.com. Check it out, and then you can go to all my other websites that I have, And I would love to talk to you about selling or buying. So I'll talk to you then. Take care.